Before we get started, let's please have a moment for the sequel haters because they are looking quite like this right now. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Yes, The Bad Batch is tying in with the sequel trilogy. If you've seen my channel before, you do know that I am a fan of all Star Wars, up, down, and in between. I think this is the time for Dave Filoni and the other writers to actually tie everything in together. And after watching these first 3 episodes, I knew right away that that's what they were aiming for, and I think it's a good approach. As the sequels did have some sketchy writing, somehow Palpatine returned, we do have the argument that, it's Palpatine. He's the strongest Force user in the galaxy, besides Anakin Skywalker, and he obsessed over coming back in immortality, so it's not a surprise. Let's talk about the Bad Batch and what we've seen in the first 3 episodes. Episode 1, Confined. Episode 2, Paths Unknown. And Episode 3, Shadows of Tantus. I feel like in the first episode, we kind of just had a rundown of Omega and what she's really been up to. She has longer hair now, showing some of her growth. As a prisoner, we see a depressed Crosshair. He knows that this is probably where he's going to be for the rest of his life. Paths Unknown, we get to go back with Hunter and Wrecker, see what they're up to. And this was a really good connecting episode, getting back, getting a little refreshment of our characters and seeing what they're up to right now. And Shadows of Tantus. Holy crap. We get to see Palpatine back, but then we also get Project Necromancer. And yes, we did see this for the first time and actually hear about it in Mando Season 3. Papa Hux, Moff Gideon, and other Imperial Remnant forces had all came together and talked about Project Necromancer, and they know exactly what's going on. This is to bring back Palpatine in some sort of a Force way, like within the spirit realm of, Palpatine's essence portraying into another Force-sensitive clone or a host of some sort. And of course, that's what we see with Snoke. We get to see Nala Se and Emery taking blood samples of clones, and once they take these samples, what they do is they kind of throw it into like a rotation binder, and it goes ahead and injects midichlorians into their blood. And we did see in season 2 a lot of the clones were getting enhanced with midichlorians, and some of them were not taking it well. And what a lot of people have noticed already is that Crosshair is not taking too well to the midichlorians. So basically what they're trying to do is find a house, maybe a Force sensitive clone, and Palpatine is obsessed with immortality. Of course, he knows that one day his demise may come, especially with Darth Vader and them not being on the same side all the time. So Palpatine, as smart as he is, playing chess while others are playing checkers, understands that he's going to need a plan B just in case anything happens to him. He wants to be the strongest Force user in all of the universe. And this all leads to Snoke. We did find out that Palpatine was controlling Snoke, the one that was talking to Ben Solo this entire time. And Nala Se would throw Omega's sample away when Emery would take it, just because she knew that she would not react well to this. Nala Se obviously knew something that we all didn't. And there was theories, back in season 1 and 2, like, is Omega, Force sensitive? What's up with her? And towards the end, Omega finally gets a sample taken, and it is ran through the binder. And Nala Se tells her quietly that she needs to evacuate and she needs to leave immediately. Which, doing so, she does end up taking Crosshair. They do run away, and they are able to escape. And right at the end, Emery tells Hemlock that Omega is a match. They've been going through all donors, all sorts of subjects, and they finally found one that can host the midichlorians, and it's of a high count. We find out that Omega is the donor. She is the most positive subject that they have. This can be good for Palpatine, and this can be bad for Hemlock. Hemlock finally getting the subject that they needed in Omega let her go as they have forces going after her. And this is where I think Hemlock is going to be screwed in the end. More so because when we get Palpatine in the episode, obviously him and Hemlock do take a trip down, and it's just like laser walls that we see Moff Gideon had. And this is all probably leading up to where the clones are held, the ones that are made so far. Now we are in the very early stages of Project Necromancer, and it's all kind of giving like a Rise of Skywalker-esque feeling. I don't know if it's Palpatine's presence. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose to link the two between each other, but it's a good approach. So when you really think about it, all of the cloning and the Snoke, Palpatine, all of that in the sequel trilogy may be stemming from Omega. So if you think back a couple years ago when we seen the Bad Batch for the first time, we see Omega, kind of annoying character, why is she here? Doesn't make too much sense at the beginning, but she starts playing such a huge role towards the end of the second episode. So now we're thinking, what role is she going to play? And they've been thinking, in the Mandoverse, it might connect, it might fix, salvage the sequels, but I think it's starting in animation. Omega will be the host in creating Force-sensitive clones that Palpatine can run his essence through and be successful in the immortality and the return of Palpatine. And when you think about it, it all makes sense now. Palpatine came back. That was one thing, a lot of people didn't like that. He's the most powerful person in the galaxy. We've been over this. It's obvious. It makes sense. It's definitely not crazy for Palpatine coming back because it's in his character. But there's still so many questions left, and I thought the first and third episode of this was really great, and it leads up for next week and weeks to come. But just to kind of touch on episode 2, we catch up with Hunter and Wrecker, and they meet up with Durand, and they're getting some intel on where Omega might be. And they bring in a prisoner, Pike, that they give up to Durand and his leader, and he is permanently taken away. So they take the intel, and they know now that there is a Imperial base that they go and check out. I think the best part of this episode is finding out that there are other Reg clones. So Reg clones, are the ones that are just normal. We have Clone Force 99. They're obviously defective, but effective, that we learn in Bad Batch Season 3 so far. That's a really good quote from Wrecker. And one of the kids goes with them to show them, where the old base used to be. And obviously it was ran down, shut down, and they weren't able to get any sort of intel except for when they take Gonki. He goes ahead and gets some intel. That way they can find out to where to go next. But the other two Regs that didn't go with Hunter and Wrecker went ahead and saved the day, got them out of trouble from the vines that came to life, and we finally got to see the big vine monster. And that was really cool to see. That's some good effects, and it definitely, causes some anxiety for the moment. Are they going to get out? Just to wrap those up, I think these episodes are great. It's a great way to start a last season, and we still have a lot more to see. We got a lot more Emperor Palpatine, Fennec Shand, Cad Bane, Asajj Ventress. But what's going to happen to Emery's character? Are Omega and Crosshair going to get caught? Are they going to catch up with Hunter and Wrecker because they're actually looking for them? They don't know that they got away, so maybe they'll meet up, and this is where the bounty hunting starts. But I do think Hemlock is doomed. I don't think that he's going to make it for the rest of the season. Everything's looking bright and good for him, in Project Necromancer so far. Not being able to have Omega still there, and that's the prime subject for Palpatine to be successful in the entire scheme of things. So hopefully in the next couple weeks we can see some Asajj Ventress, and of course Quinlan Vos may be coming back. We got a lot to look forward to. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Go ahead and comment down below some of your favorite things from these few episodes of the Bad Batch. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you all in the next one. Clan Brandalorian, I'm out.